Whether it's a lager or an ale, whether it's a stout, light, dark, or pale. If you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews. He's not quite an amateur, not quite a connoisseur, but regardless of the brewer, he's got taste in beer for sure.
You can tell just by his gut, this guy is a bona fide beer nut.
So whether it's a porter or an IPA, whether it's from Europe or the USA, if you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews.
Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Got a very special beer tonight. This is the Captain Lawrence Brewing Company's 5 Years Later Ale. Deep, dark, and hoppy. Pretty long description on the side here. I'm not going to read it. You can't even see on through the camera because the label's so shiny, but you know, it says made with 5 different malts and 5 different hops. And it doesn't say on the bottle, but I looked it up. It's 10% ABV. So I'm thinking this is like an imperial black IPA, kind of bordering on like a barley wine kind of thing. Oh, I think I poured it a little too aggressively there. I got all ahead. Well, I mean, it is what I thought it was going to be. I said black IPA. That's black. Do you agree? Yeah, it's like I mean, I see like some red if I hold it to the light, but hardly any at all. It's more, it's like extremely, it's kind of like this maroon hat right here, only way darker. So it's not truly black. The head is nice though. It's a tan, same color as this table, you know, like a lightish brown, dark yellow. Very frothy, kind of creamy. It smells definitely more like an IPA than a barley wine. I'm getting lots of hops. It's citrus, a little bit of pine. Actually, probably more pine than citrus. I even get like some kind of chocolate in there. It almost kind of smells like candy, so let's give it a taste. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely, now that I've tasted it, I definitely say it is an Imperial Black IPA. Because the tasting, I'm getting all three. I'm getting, okay, first half is the hop bite, is the hop bomb. The kind of citrus, the intense bitterness. Second half is the black side, which is like the stout kind of side. The roasted malt, a sweetness, like a nice bitter dark chocolate, which, you know, is a nice complement of the sweetness and the bitterness. And then through the whole thing, I'm getting like noticeable heat to let you know that it's 10% ABV. Yeah, very bitter and piney for the first half. The hops aren't really lingering here though. Like they're just they're bitter and, you know, kind of dancing on the tongue while it's in the mouth. Other than that, I mean, it finishes much more on the stout side. I'm really enjoying that roasted, you know, like almost like a dark chocolate, even like kind of a cream, maybe a touch of coffee in there. Yeah, I'm noticing it's getting way more piney for each sip that I take. You know, it started off kind of light and crisp and citrusy and florally, and just keeps getting pinier and pinier and stickier. It's a very interesting combination of like, you know, like syrup and like bitter syrup. Like, I don't know, maybe you had like chocolate syrup and maple syrup that was somehow very bitter. That's what you'd get here. I know that doesn't sound like a flattering description, but it's actually extremely tasty. No, we're not done. I mean, I still got a ton more left here. So I am going to really take my time with this one. We got lots of time to kill. So I'm going to sip on this over the next few hours, and we'll come back with my final thoughts on the Captain Lawrence 5 years later. Cheers. Oh, hey, I'm back. So, final thoughts and final grade for the Captain Lawrence 5 years later. I really like this beer. It's so close to being a perfect beer, but just a few little things keep it from being that. But otherwise, it's an excellent beer. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. The things I like about it, I mean, it's got it's this perfect hybrid of the IPA and stout, which is what a black IPA is. You're getting the pine kind of sap, resiny bitterness, the stickiness. The second half is like the roasted malt, the kind of the dark. It's like a dark and milk chocolate kind of hybrid thing going on there as far as the sweetness. And you know, it pairs with the bitterness like so perfectly. It's like definitely a noticeably bitter beer, but it's not like insanely bitter beer. It's not like it's like a ruination or anything. I have no idea what the IBUs are on this, but I'm thinking it's closer to like 70 something, maybe 80. Not super bitter of a beer. You know, drinkability and mouthfeel on it are very nice. Mouthfeel is like, it's I wouldn't call it like soft. But it has definitely a presence in the mouth, but it's not quite fizzy either. And you know what? It's not even really quite full bodied. I mean, it's like on the absolute low end of full bodied to like the high end of medium bodied. You know, it doesn't really feel that thick or sticky in the mouth, despite the kind of piney, sappy resin across the first half of the taste. The only thing that's holding it up from being perfect for me is like, it's doing that thing that every black IPA I've had is doing. It's now that it's warmed up, it's getting like that kind of solvent, kind of. It's a very strange smell, and like it's not sour. It's just kind of like almost like chemical. I don't really know how to describe it. It's something I don't like. And the first black IPA that comes along that doesn't have that smell is gonna get a 10. That being said, this is getting a 9. You know, so close to being a perfect beer. A lot of Russian Imperial Stouts have that smell too, by the way. You know, love the taste. Drinkability is great. Just kind of that funky kind of smell. But I mean, it's, you know, I've had beers whose palates have like really just blown my mind. This one isn't quite blowing my mind, but it's like really, really impressing me. And I like the drinkability on it too. And you know, one of the things that's kind of bringing it down, even though I've never accounted price into the grade, this is an $18 bottle, and it doesn't really, I don't really feel like I got $18 worth out of this, but, you know, maybe we'll do that in a Chad's Beer op-eds sometime, talking about price, you know, and things like that. But I'm going on too long here, so yeah, once and last time, 9 out of 10 for the Captain Lawrence 5 years later. That was it for this episode. Thanks to you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.